So ladies and gentlemen, before we actually get started, let me just request that when you join the call and you are not speaking at the moment, you help unmute your mic. Those of you that are new to the technology, the unmuting button is down on your computer on the left side, lower left side of your computer, or on the lower left side of your phone, depending on which type of gadget you might be holding. So today is day one of the International Youth Day series organized by Yali Uganda. Some of you might be asking, what is Yali? Yali is a Young African Leaders Initiative. So it is an acronym, Yali, and it is the United States of America's signature effort to invest in the next generation of young people in Africa. It was launched in 2010, and it is purposed to spur growth and prosperity, to strengthen democratic governance, enhance peace and security, and do good and justice across the continent of Africa. So Yali Uganda has two signature programs, three, if we might say. The first program is the Mandela Washington Fellowship. That happens when young leaders are chosen to go to the United States for about 6 weeks or so to associate with like-minded young people, how to be leaders of next and this generation. The next program is the Yali RLC East Africa program. That is for the EA, but that is a regional leadership center. There are four, but particularly ours is the regional leadership center that is based in Kenyatta University in Kenya. And that's where some of us were trained from, and we become part of a Yali alumni. The third program is the Yali Network. That's open to everyone, volunteers, professionals that might want to impact change in their communities and societies. So that is the three options as to how you can be part of Yali. That said, we have our chapter chairperson with us as Uganda Yali alumni. I would like to take the singular honor to request that he unmutes, and if he so pleases, that he also switches his video on so that we can interact with him and he can address us before we get started with today's conversation. I promise that we have a lot coming in stock. You're going to be listening to the theme of the day. It is as exciting as excitement can dictate. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the chapter chairperson, Mr. Muhumza Faizo. Please unmute and address us.
Yes, good afternoon, team. Hello.
Mr. Chairman, you heard, just that your network is a little shaky.
Okay, so I just wanted to put on my video, but let me leave video and do audio because of the network.
No problem. So
thank you all for making time to attend this e-conference, to share knowledge, to learn, unlearn, and refocus. As the chapter leadership, we are truly humbled by people who come out to volunteer, especially as hosts and as guests for the events we organize. We can't thank you more. We just want to tell you that we are really so thankful of the initiative you're taking part of. I would just like to mention a few things. The Youth Day should mean a lot to young African leaders. So if it wasn't for COVID and the lockdown restrictions, I think we should have organized it better. But like we said, we wanted to be as resilient as possible in this tough situation. And this is what we have got to produce. But I thank everyone who has been helping out, especially the 80 guys from Bara. Thank you for the partnership, and thank you for working with Yali RLC, Alumni Chapter of Uganda. I'm thankful to the executive committee for the commitment to have this done. I highly beg that if you are a cohort leader or you are a member of a certain cohort and you have access, you talk to your cohort members, kindly ask them to be part of these conversations. These conversations are very important. They are part of the leadership journey, the leadership training journey, which didn't stop maybe in Nairobi or the US or online on the Yali Network platforms. So learning as a leader is a great journey which you must take on almost on a daily. So for every opportunity, kindly let other alumni, let other people, let your families, let your friends be part of us. We want to keep this as public as possible because we can't be mean with knowledge. So the chapter is ready to always do the best to make sure we deliver the best events. I'm thankful to Sarah Owembabazi for hosting and my colleague Jackson Seriazi for the chairperson of events in the chapter. Thank you so much for the teamwork. And I really pray that this is going to be the start of very great conversations from today onwards. And this is the first of its kind where we have events for 5 days, which is innovation. I think we are delivering on that. And yes, the chapter is ready to listen to you, to get all your views on how we can make things better. Kindly don't hesitate to reach out to us. My email is faizo.mohumza@gmail.com. My mobile number is 0783-821695. Kindly, let's keep in touch. Let's keep sharing and caring. For now, I beg to end here and maybe request the host to take control, but also thank him for the opportunity he has given me to talk to you. And I wish all of you a great evening. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. That was our Yali Alumni Chapter Chairperson as Uganda, Mr. Mohumza Faizo. His details will be shared in the chat. And those of you that were keen to note them down, that was excellent. Like the chairperson said, this series is the first of its kind. So those of you that are joining this call are special in the nature that you've started this journey of celebrating the National Youth Day activities with us. Now, there is a team that has been behind putting this together. And before we get into this conversation, I'd like them to say something to us and also to set the pace for us to have a dialogue happen. I would like to request Mr. Seriazi Jackson to unmute and potentially switch on his video if the connectivity allows, to give us a few remarks to welcome us into this session and usher us into what the week is going to look like before we get on with today's discussion. So Seriazi Jackson, Mr. Please unmute. If you so wish, you could hand over to Sarah, depending on how your arrangement wishes to flow. The floor is yours, Mr. Jackson.
Oh, yes, Mr. Blair. Yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome the team, the panelists. Yeah, moderator, you're doing a great work. I'm Seriazi Jackson, the Events and Networking Chairperson in Yali. And we are striving hard to make things happen. Yeah, thanks to the Events and Networking Committee, thanks to the ExCos, thanks to the alumni, and thanks to everyone for the support to make this happen. And we are live. What I can tell you is we're live on Facebook. You can go on the Yali Facebook page, Yali Ugandan Chapter Alumni Facebook page. We are live. And we are live also on YouTube. You can subscribe to ATV, EYIT, then TV. Yeah, so we are good to go. And we are joined by a panelist from Kenya. You're so welcome to Uganda. That is Janice. Yeah, we are interconnecting now the chapters, the Kenyan chapter and the Ugandan chapter. And that will be great. She's here to represent, she's here to give us what she has and on how education can transform the food systems. And yeah, she's also African and she's welcome. Yeah, so I would like to maybe go in details on how the week is going to be run. And yeah, we are here. This is the one. This is the one, and we are going to run for 5 days. So from Sunday up to Thursday, yeah, we shall keep you, we shall keep you connected and engaged. So today that's Monday. Yeah, today being Monday, yeah, we're going to dissect on how education systems can be strengthened to contribute to food transformation. Yeah, and we have a great, they have a great panel, and you need to listen to them and see. And then at day 2, we have youth innovation. That is how the youth have brought their innovativeness towards changing the food systems in agriculture. And day 3, we shall be talking about agri-tech. And we have the Yali alumni who are going to represent us, Charlie Swanika and Frank Suna. Yeah, that will be day 3, and other people. Then therefore, that will be agribusiness. That is agripreneurship. If you want to start investing in agriculture, how should you start? These days, the youth are, we can't do agriculture for those old guys. So we are going to dissect agripreneurship, how you can invest and how to start investing in agriculture among the youth. And the 5, that will be the mega day. We shall be having giving a big picture on how the program is good. The program has been run, and we shall have a mega view on the International Youth Day. That panel will be interesting, yeah, because you have some of the, we are being some of the big gigs in the agricultural industry, and we shall have a former group president, that is Basil Mota, will be live to speak to the youth. And doing this, what we are looking at is spreading the Yali visibility to the public. That's why we are going live on Facebook and we are going live on YouTube. yeah, this is the first kind of events to the Yali, Ugandan alumni chapter. And whatever we do here, you can go back and follow us on the Yali Facebook page. I encourage you to share and like the page. So we are spreading the Yali visibility. We want to give back to the public. We want to inspire you into agriculture and other programs. Yeah, and maybe I could invite my ex, one of the leaders, Sarah, and she's good to go to say something to the alumni and to the public. Thank you.
Right, I'm trying to trace Sarah, but it looks like she dropped off the call. Maybe we shall have her say something towards the end of this discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'd like to welcome you to this conversation. This is the Yali Youth Day series, and today is day one. Just a second. Mr. Jackson, could you help unmute? Perfect. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we've so far heard from a chapter chairperson and the team that is organizing the activities for this week. I would like to again apologize for my lighting. My webcam is not the best we could find, but I'm under the impression that it's better to interact with how someone perhaps would look so that we know what is being discussed today. This week, we're going to be celebrating the International Youth Day celebrations. A few people will be selected to go to the State House, Uganda, to join the National Youth Council, the other CSOs that are focusing their programs on youth affairs, and other government institutions and non-government institutions. We as this the Yali way, every day that builds up to 12th of August, we're going to be having conversations around the International Youth Day theme. And the International Youth Day theme for this year is Youth Innovations for Transformation of Food Systems and Sustainable Human and Planetary Health. We're going to break this theme into 5 days, like the organizers earlier told you. Today's conversation is going to be how education and innovation, technology and entrepreneurship can help us transform food systems in Uganda and East Africa. Maybe to say something about the International Youth Day, you need to understand that in the year 1998, between the dates of 8th to 12th in the capital city of Portugal, Lisbon, at the conference of youth ministers, they resolved that we should be having a day in the year where we get to celebrate the achievements, appreciate the history, to call upon the history of youth, to call upon governments to address youth affairs urgently, and because the youth do matter. And this led to what we call the International Youth Day that we get to celebrate every 12th of August in the years from 1999, when the resolution was passed by the UN General Assembly. So this day was set by the United Nations to be celebrated each and every day so that the young people can appreciate the journey. And this is what we're doing this week. Not to say that we shall be having youth conversations throughout the year, but this week is special to us. And to show how special it is, we have assembled an amazing panel of young leaders. And luckily, all of them have been trained by the USAID-funded program, the Young African Leaders Initiative, some from Nairobi, Kenya, others from the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my singular pleasure to right now introduce to you the panelists of the day. And these panelists are going to be diving into the theme. The first panelist is Janice Achieng. Janice Cheng is joining us from Kenya. She's a Yali alumni from cohort 41, and she does a lot of amazing things. Janice is a secondary school teacher in Kenya, and at that school where she teaches, she's the patron of the school's farmers club. Janice has also convened the Osiepe Practical Action Program. This is a CBO that focuses on parent-youth partnerships in agribusiness. She is the founder of Nice and Spicy, SHG. It's an organization of professional women who create awareness on agriculture, health, agri-nutrition, wellness, and she does encourage girl-child empowerment through agribusiness. She's also a member of a Young Professionals for Agricultural Development. This is a global network that explores innovations. That is Janice Acheng, and we shall be listening in to what she has to say to us today. First panelist, Janice Acheng. The second panelist, I hope I'm still audible enough. My network shows me that my connectivity is quite shaky. Our second panelist is Mr. Gerald Ahimbisibwe. Mr. Gerald is also a Yali trained young leader from cohort 39. He's a mentor and career expert. He's a team leader at the Ability Youth Initiative Uganda, and he's also the MasterCard Foundation Regional Ambassador. Mr. Gerald Ahimbisibwe also holds a bachelor's in textile and clothing technology. That is our second panelists. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm already as excited to be hearing from these agricultural Mr. Ahumuza Ignatius, Uganda. This inputs, among the other things, in agribusiness. And he has won a couple of awards. He's won the most outstanding agripreneur award. This is also known as the Anisha Prize in 2017. He has won the Youth Environmentalist Award. This was in 2015 from a California Best Pollination Program. Mr. Humuza Ignatius has also spoken at the board of International Food and Agricultural Development Meeting. It's also known as BFAD. This was in 2018 in Washington, DC. Mr. Ahumuza Ignatius holds a bachelor's degree in community development and agriculture. He has a certificate in climate change and agriculture from Massey University in New Zealand. And he is also a South African trained entrepreneur from an African Leadership Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a lineup of panelists we have today, and I'm excited to get into the conversation with these panelists whose CVs are very humbling regarding the fact that we're going to be having a conversation on education and how education can help us transform food systems. All right. So I'm going to request my panelists to, in the order I introduced them, to say hello to the people. That will also help me know whether their network is stable enough so that we can get the conversation started. Miss Janice Acheng, could you unmute so that people can hear your voice?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Janice, and I am so honored and humbled to be a panelist today in this, historic dialogue. I'm actually crossing the border. It's really an honor to be part of the International Youth Day celebrations in Uganda chapter. Thank you so much.
All right, lovely. We are also excited to hear from you, Janice. Mr. Gerald Ahimbisibwe, are you on the call?
Oh, yes. I want to believe that I'm audible. I am so thrilled. I'm so excited to be talking to you this afternoon. especially to discuss about youth issues and more relevant to education and agriculture. And I know it's going to be really interesting, enjoyable, and I look forward to more such engagement, majorly to see the economic transformation of Africa. Thank you so much.
All right, amazing. And Mr. Ahumuza Ignatius, could you also give us your opening remarks?
Good afternoon to everyone on the call. It is with great pleasure I come to you today in this call, hoping that the discussion today will set a pace or a momentum for a certain wave of change that we as young leaders within our own communities can take on. I believe that today may be a starting point for a couple of connections and maybe partnerships between the different people on the platform now. And I know that going forward, we will use this opportunity to change the communities in which we live, especially when it comes to agriculture and education. Thank you.
All right. Those are our panelists, and I'm beyond excited that they are big advocates of change and food security in Africa and education generally. All right, so to get into our conversation, I'm going to have a number of questions. Some I'm going to be directing to individual panelists, and others I'm going to be, addressing them to all the panelists. So